Hey there, YouTubers. It's Chris from Gravy. This segment is on fraud and how to prevent it with your Shopify store. Now, I've been doing Shopify sales for about 3 years with a high-ticket store, and I probably get a fraud attempt about once every 6 months, 3 to 6 months, and gotten kind of good at figuring out what people are most likely to be attempting fraud versus those regular customers that don't. So this is just a quickie on what you can do and how you can kind of sniff out the criminals trying to take your money. So again, I do high ticket items, but this really applies to any store. And there's a few red flags that you'll see right off the bat. Firstly is 0 emails or phone calls, and they just buy right away. And especially if this is a high ticket item, but even any item where there's no inquiries and it's just either a high purchase amount or a high purchase value or both. I had somebody buy 3 $5,000 items, for example, and no phone call, no email. Just purchased. And of course, in this case, I did get the Shopify fraud warnings set off by this customer, but I could feel, already that there's something wrong with this order. I've also had people call me up and a similar high-ticket item ask just a silly question that didn't seem like it made any sense, and so it was already suspicious when I talked to this guy. So you'll really get the sense pretty quick if somebody's trying to take your money and not actually do that. So what can you do? Firstly, once you've sensed, okay, there's some red flags, what can you do? Well, look in your Shopify store and see if there's any warnings. You'll see like little red dots show up when you look at the payment page and you look at the order. There'll be red dots next to the descriptions of the indicators that are potential for fraud. So billing address that doesn't match the credit card is a classic. That is a red flag for sure. If you can't verify somebody's credit card matches their billing address, you can do some things like, for example, ask them for photo ID. Ask them to email you photo ID, a passport, a driver's license, a bill to their address. Also, billing addresses that don't match the credit card addresses are red flags. Same thing. Ask for a bill, some photo ID of an address, and if they can't provide that or they stall, then reject it. I even had one guy who tried to put a sticker over his driver's license to match the address that he provided, and I could see the sticker. And it took him a while to get back to me. He was clearly, fudging it. So just be aware. IP addresses are also giveaways. If the location of the IP address is far from the shipping address, this is another huge red flag, and that's what Shopify will show you in their report. So some of what Shopify does is they use their address verification system, which is basically matching their address to their credit card information. Also, the 3-digit security code on credit cards, if that's incorrect, that's a huge indicator for fraud, and Shopify will flag that. And as I mentioned, IP address. If that IP address location is different than the billing or card address, then there's definitely issues. So what else can you do? Google Streetview their house. If you're trying to salvage this order and you want to see if you can actually find their address on Google Street View, then you can verify right there. You can ask them some detail about their house, what car's in the driveway, or what's the color of their house, or If you want to ask a few specific questions about their location, you know, are there trees there? Maybe there's no trees, and you say, what kind of trees do you have in your front yard? And there's none. You know, things like that. You can also catch them. And then there's social media accounts. Have a quick look on Facebook and see if there's any information. If you can't find them on social media, that's another red flag. You can also go as far as calling the credit card company and ask them to verify the buyer, because they will do that. So there's a couple different issues. And just calling them up even. If you want to try and salvage the order, call them up and just be honest with them. Say, this order was flagged by my credit card system as potentially fraudulent, and I need to find out why that is, and just let them see if they can answer that. And if they stumble and don't have any good explanations, then that's where you want to definitely decline or cancel the order and move on. So hope that helps, and let me know in the comments if you have any other questions. Thanks.